All right, today we're going to talk about something that is probably one of the oldest, most universal headaches for any software developer. We're going to dive into GitHub Codespaces and its pretty radical solution. What if you could just move your entire dev environment into the cloud?
Oh, you know the phrase. The four little words that can make any developer's blood just run cold. Works on my machine. Come on, we have all been there, right? You spend days, literally days, wrestling with a project, trying to get it to run locally. And then, the second it's on a colleague's computer, or even worse, in production, it just completely falls apart.
I mean, it's just this universal agony, isn't it? Setting up a new machine or trying to get onboarded to a new project. You're fighting with dependency conflicts. You've got mismatched library versions, these cryptic config files. All that stuff, it's just tedious, it's error-prone, and it's a giant wall standing between you and the one thing you actually want to do, write great code. But what if you could just skip all of that? I love this quote from Clint Chester over at Synergy. He says, what used to be a 15-step process is now just one step. I mean, imagine that, taking that whole mountain of setup pain and shrinking it down to a single click. That's the really powerful promise we're going to unpack today.
Okay, so how is this even possible, right? Well, the core idea is actually deceptively simple. You take the entire development environment, I'm talking all the tools, all the dependencies, the whole shebang, and you just move it into the cloud. So let's break down what that really means.
So at its heart, GitHub Codespaces is a secure, cloud-based dev environment. The easiest way to think about it is this. Picture your complete professional IDE, like VS Code. But instead of it running on your laptop, it's running on a super powerful machine somewhere in a GitHub data center. And you can access it from pretty much anywhere you can get an internet connection.
And here's what's so crucial. This isn't some generic, stripped-down editor in a web browser. No. It's designed to be your space. It's personalized. Your themes, your keyboard shortcuts, all your favorite extensions, they all sync up. So this cloud environment ends up feeling just as comfortable and just as powerful as a machine you're already used to.
All right, so the concept is awesome, for sure. But how does it actually work? Let's pop the hood and see how this all comes together.
Okay, getting started is, well, it's almost laughably simple. Seriously, you just find any GitHub repository or pull request you want to work on. You click one button, Create Code Space. And within seconds, I'm not kidding, seconds, not minutes, you have a fully configured development environment totally ready for you to start coding. That's it. That's the whole process.
So what's happening in the background while you wait those few seconds? Well, GitHub is spinning up a powerful virtual machine just for you. We're talking anywhere from a 2-core machine all the way up to a 32-core beast. But the real magic, the secret sauce, is in this one little file, devcontainer.json. Think of it like a recipe. It's a recipe for your perfect development environment. It spells out all the tools, extensions, and settings needed, and this ensures that every single developer on the project gets the exact same setup, every single time.
Okay, so now we know what it is and how it works. Let's get to the really fun part, the superpowers this thing gives you as a developer. This first one is a genuine game changer. Think about it. Because all the heavy lifting, the compiling, the running, all of it, happens in the cloud, your local machine just needs a browser. That's it. All of a sudden, your iPad, a cheap Chromebook, even that old laptop collecting dust, it's now a high-end development workstation. You are completely untethered from that one powerful computer at your desk.
All right, think about your team. How long does it usually take to onboard a new engineer? A few hours? A full day? Maybe a few days. With Codespaces, they can be contributing real production-ready code in minutes. Why? Because all the dependencies and all the configurations are already handled. They just open the Codespace and they're in. It's that fast. And here's a perfect real-world example. Imagine you get a pull request to review a bug fix. Now, what's the usual dance? You got to stash your own changes, switch branches, pull the latest code, maybe run npm install, rebuild everything locally. It's a whole thing. Forget that. With this, you just launch a Codespace directly from the pull request, and instantly you have a live, running environment ready to test that fix. No hassle.
And remember what I said earlier? This is not some limited, watered-down environment. It's built to support the tools you already use and love. We're talking full-blown integration for the essentials like GitHub Copilot and Docker. You've got your formatters like Prettier. And you can even run powerful data science and ML tools like Jupyter Notebooks or Azure ML. It's the real deal.
This quote from Keith Annett over at KPMG just nails it.
It's all about letting developers skip the boring, tedious, error-prone stuff so they can focus on what they were actually hired to do: solve problems and build cool things.
So, you might be wondering, okay, this sounds cool, but who is it actually for? Is it just for huge enterprise teams, or can regular folks use it too? Let's take a look at who can get their hands on this. Well, the good news is the accessibility is actually really broad. There's a model for pretty much everyone. If you're an individual developer, you get a pretty generous free monthly quota to mess around with your own projects. For teams and companies, there's a flexible pay-as-you-go model. And maybe best of all, it's completely free for students through the GitHub Student Developer Pack, which is awesome.
So when I say generous for that free tier, what does that mean? It means you get 60 core hours every single month. To put that into perspective for you, that's enough to run a standard 2-core dev environment for about 2 hours every single day. For free. I mean, that is a huge amount of time to build your next big idea without paying a dime.
And the impact here really spreads across the entire developer world. For open source, it's a massive boost. It gives maintainers and contributors a totally frictionless way to collaborate. In education, it's a powerful tool that's baked right into GitHub Classroom. And of course, for big companies, it offers a secure, manageable, and standardized environment for their entire engineering organization.
So, all of this brings us to a really interesting, kind of provocative question. With tools this powerful, this accessible, are we watching the beginning of the end for the local development environment? Look, maybe not for everyone, and maybe not for every single project, but one thing is for sure: the very definition of what a developer's workstation even is, that is changing. And it's changing fast. Definitely something to think about.